Really what attaches your soul to your vessel, the vessel that you're in, it's the I am, the awareness. You know, I am John, I am Max, I am here in this world, I exist. Your soul is attached to that I am. If they can get you in a mainframe and get you in a virtual world where you still believe I am, then your soul is still attached to that. It's a place that I believe is called the Well of Souls. And the whole talk of wanting to bring this huge demonic entity into being, Satan, whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe it is, apparently it needs a certain amount of souls to do that. And I think that's what they do. They trap people into the mainframe. And I think they've done this before. And I think that's why it's so difficult to wake a lot of people up, is because they're already in the mainframe. I think half the people out there aren't even real people. They're just minds, consciousness that's driving an avatar that thinks that they're real, but they're not. They're not really alive. They're in the mainframe already. And I think that's what all this is about. Of course, you're not going to get all the people to do it, so you need to depopulate. It's like people farm. You've got to have all of this excess stuff around. It's like the corn flour in the stew to thicken the stew, you know? There's only really a certain amount of real conscious people in here. And they want those souls. They want those conscious souls. They want them trapped in that mainframe. That's where they get their energy from. It's like a flame. It's like a fire. It's like electricity for them. It's the energy they need to power this demonic, whatever it is they're creating. That, you know, people will have all different religious concepts about what it is. You know, I don't even go there. I just know it's a powerful, energetic, conscious force that exists. And it's the other side of what we're really connected to. They're trying to disconnect us from that and get us into the mainframe. That's what I think a lot of it is about. And I think that we have an opportunity to actually get through it this time. I think this is going to be one of the last resets that they do.
Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, it's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. And these words mean more today than they did about 8-9 days ago. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Thank you so much for joining us again on X, Rumble, and YouTube here in a live chat. It's so good to see you all. This has been a tough few days, honestly, for me, probably for my wife too. I shared last week, I came on early last week. I felt very exhausted. I felt huge pain in my neck, and I just knew I needed to step back for a few days. Just thought I was going to rest, and that was going to be it. I had no idea what ride I was in for. So I posted that, let you guys know I was not going to be on the air for a few days. Your comments, your love, that's the last thing I really remember. And then it kind of went pretty dark pretty quick. It appears that I had a severe allergic reaction to poison ivy. I had no idea this could happen. Pain that I've never experienced in my life before, and I've had, quite some pain before. And boy, it was a tough few days in between there. And one night in particular where I was kind of sort of drifting in and out, and Christine was just sitting there watching me, making sure I'm breathing and all. But here I am, actually sooner than I expected, excited to be back, maybe not fully back, but at least for now. I'm still working on healing, on resting, on recharging. But I wanted to come on and give you all an update, let you know what happened, and also what I experienced. Because pain, especially when it goes into this delirium state, it can be very revealing. It's one of the ways to break the barrier or go beyond the veil a little bit, and that's what happened. And I want to share. It's not like it was an earth-shattering, out-of-body experience vision. It was just a lot of clarity on certain things that came through, which I really appreciate because that's what I asked for. When I sensed that it was going to get worse and worse and worse in terms of pain, I literally asked for some clarity and vision, and I did receive that. But before I do that, I want to first thank my wonderful, most amazing wife, Christine, who, without whom I couldn't have made it through the last week. Just 24/7 around me, next to me, wherever I needed her to be, she was there, and I am a truly blessed and so grateful man for having her, and just deeply grateful. I'm going to leave it at that. Uh, and I also want to thank our amazing health and wellness partners or well-being partners that allowed me, honestly, to put all of their products and services to the test. Because when life is good and when everything's hunky dory, then um, you feel a difference when you take a product. You feel a difference when you experience a service. But when life is very, very difficult, it can literally make the difference. And so I just want to thank these partners and name them, because I've seen over the last few days that I don't know how it would have been without them. One of them, first one, FLFE, Focused Life Force Energy, which we've been on their service for a year in a deep collaboration, uh, in also friendship, knowledge. They've really helped us to dive a lot deeper in a lot of ways. But it creates basically a high consciousness field where you are around your home, um, or on the go, and has incredible benefits. So many of which are not advertised, and they wouldn't do that, but that I have experienced over the last months, and especially over the last few days. This high consciousness field is at a minimum level of 550 on the scale, which is at the level of unconditional love. And it's sort of the optimum that most people can be in. Incredible service, which I'm more grateful for right now than ever before. The next one is a new partner for us, but his products, my chemical free body, really his products, and this one especially is so nutrient dense and something we've been looking for. And if your body is attacked, whether it's inflammation, infection, or anything else, your immune system is your shield. It's what allows you to um, at least survive, but also make it through things faster. And for that, we need optimal nutrition and um, all the minerals, the vitamins, and everything that our body requires. And chemical free body is literally the one of the highest quality supplements I've ever experienced. And Christine and I are extremely grateful because it did make a huge difference during the last days. Another one, they've been our partners for a while, C60 Evo, which is rapid repair. Um, goes deep in the mitochondria. So basically, recovery goes much, much faster, which, in considering what I experienced just a few days ago and similar experiences by other people, I should still be just lying down, and I should still be in bed. And this could last anywhere 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm pretty much, over the hill and really recovering really well. So this is something that I took daily, and I'm extremely thankful for. Really, most of all, rapid recovery helps with the sleep, helps with the energy. Fantastic. And last but not least, because there's no particular order here, is Barlow Herbal. Okay, so this here, LDM 100, one of the most potent herbal remedies in the world, formulated by one of the master herbalists alive today, Jane Barlow, our dear friend, barlowherbal.com. I want to really personally thank all of them because, their products and their services have truly given me support, nutrients, um, immunity, and helped me through the last week greatly. So I couldn't be more grateful to recommend them to you as our partners, and I put them to the test. This was a hardcore test, and they all absolutely passed 100%. Alrighty. So, like I said, pain can be a very revealing experience. And I think, some of you have experienced this. There are traditions among indigenous tribes that they induce pain. There are rituals where they go into pain consciously in order to have this delirium, or get into a state of delirium, which brings them closer to the spirit world and to messages and to truth. And so, I was well aware of these rituals. I didn't initiate this one consciously, but as I was slipping into it, I simply asked for clear guidance. And, for me personally, sure, that was the first thing, because, I wanted to take the opportunity and recalibrate if necessary. But then I also asked for greater clarity on what is important for us as a human family right now. What stands out, and what stood out is one word above all the others, and that was truth. So, the relentless and loving focus on truth is the most important thing, but not just truth for the sake of truth, but truth for the sake of liberating consciousness. And so, I saw that we have a limited window of opportunity, which this is sort of how this entire construct seems to function. Is it that we have windows of energy and opportunity, and this window of opportunity um, is sort of closing slowly but surely, and the next stage of the awakening has to happen now. The next stage of the awakening goes beyond just comprehending what is happening politically, or what are the conspiracies of the world, who owns the financial system, or these are all springboards or stepping stones, but we must see them as such, not stop the seeking there. These are all important things because they show a greater picture. They show us that there's a much greater truth, that what we perceived collectively as reality truly is not reality. It is a construct. It is a carefully curated construct, and reality is crumbling. The way that we perceived reality, it's not there anymore. Now it's crumbling. And what is happening is that this crumbling period sort of gives an opening for us to question with greater and greater, or deeper and deeper. And what we might discover is that beyond the body, this avatar, beyond our brain, beyond our ability to think, beyond even the mind, is a different entity. And that is which we truly are, which is an individual expression, a unique expression of consciousness. And so, the way that this next stage of the awakening that I saw needs, or should, or ideally will happen, is when you and millions of other people give yourself permission to seek a greater and greater perspective that is detached from this avatar, that is detached from your immediate sense of reality, that looks at a greater picture, sort of looking from the outside in, which we can. This is what people perceive to be out of body experiences, uh, induced by prayer or meditation. And I strongly see that the ones that are induced through our conscious focus versus plant medicine are different. I'm not saying plant medicine doesn't have a place in this journey, but it is not a substitute for focused attention. So the idea is to find the perspective that goes beyond this physical body, that goes beyond the brain, that goes beyond the mind, something that is far greater than that and eternal in nature. And why this is important, and why there's a limited window of opportunity, is because the entire idea is to use every tool at the disposal to keep us trapped in our perception, to keep us trapped in our current view of reality in a 3D, but that's the best case scenario that whatever we see in front of us, we perceive as to be the only reality. And the tools to do this now are so sophisticated. So the way that technology can be used to limit your perception, to keep you entrapped in a certain way of thinking and experience, are off the hook. And we can't even keep up with as soon as we discover a methodology that they use, new ones appear that we didn't know about. So the only antidote to that is to connect to that highest version of yourself so often that basically it's impossible to sever that. And I think that is sort of a spiritual superpower that we do have, but that we need to practice more and more and more. It's the only true shield that I could think of right now. All of these services, products that we talk about that are amazing, like FLFE, give us a great support system, but they in and of itself can't shield us from everything. We have to do this work. However, what I saw is that when enough people do this work, and then when enough people take on that perspective or seek that perspective, that the way that consciousness rises through that is a counter action to all the nefarious stuff that is going on. And it elevates your own life experience into literally a different realm, into a different dimension of existence. So the the insanity, if you will, the crumbling of reality, and the feeling that it is so fake what we're seeing, it is so plastic, it is so unbelievable, will continue to increase. But it won't pose a problem for those who are not anchored in this false reality. We might live in it, we might have an experience in it, but if we're not anchored in it, then we can sort of coast through it much, much better. And that's literally what I saw. The window will close because for a period of time, the the grid will be so intense that it is like an invisible prison. So this is why this time window is slowly closing. I don't know when exactly, but here's the thing: by focusing on that, by focusing on elevating our consciousness, by focusing on taking that perspective, we are also prolonging it. We're pushing this window open again. We are creating an energy field of our own, which others can benefit from. So this is sort of what I saw. There is no time for pretending. There's no time for putting our heads in the sand. There's no time for playing spiritual bypassing games whatsoever. There's not even a second to spare. So it's all guided by truth, and truth is the only way to get there. So no talking ourselves into a false sense of whatever. There is no opportunity for that anymore. And if you do, you're wasting precious time. I understand. And people will say, well, Jean, time doesn't really exist. It's just part of this construct. Yes, that's precisely why I'm saying that you need to find the space beyond it, the space beyond this ticking experience here of a time space reality loop, the wheel of karma. There is a space beyond it. There is a reality far beyond it. There is actually reality beyond it. And that's what was shown in this state of pain delirium in a very clear way. It wasn't a magical, mystical, colorful unicorn and rainbow experience whatsoever. This just sort of came through as very precise instructions, if you will, which, given the intensity of pain, I was quite surprised actually to get that much clarity. And so that's what came through. That's what I wanted to share. And I hope it is received with the level of urgency that it has. And at the same time, we sort of can't put a trigger, or can't put a gun to our heads and make us do it. It has to come from within. It has to come from an inner drive to go beyond all the deception, all of it. And the best deception is not in terms of how high quality they make this deception. The best of what they do is an imitation of real bliss. For everything that exists in prime reality, there is an imitation, a what do they call it? A ripoff, right? A fake. And if you go and look deep into certain programs that have been out there, like, Frank Jacob and I have done this, I think, last year, where we looked into heart math, for example, and the founders of that, and what the unbelievable real intention is behind these things is, they call it synthetic Christ consciousness. And so realizing that real humans have not just a tendency, but a inherent need to be spiritually connected, an inherent need. And you can do one of two things. You can either turn off in the avatar the the gene, if you will, that allows you to physically induce that connection. Or if that is not possible, you can try to present people with a copy of that experience, a fake experience, which is so seems so real that some people simply can't tell the difference. And that is what they might call synthetic spirituality or synthetic Christ consciousness. So we have to understand that they do that too. And they do that through hardcore science, actually, by measuring exactly what is happening in the body when somebody is having a real and authentic spiritual experience, by monitoring what kind of images the people have and see in their mind's eye when they have these experiences, by analyzing it down to a T, and then creating a product that is the copy of that. And because we are in a holographic realm, um, this can be projected in a way that most humans wouldn't know the difference between the real thing and the fake thing. So the only true way to distinguish that I have found is to go beyond all of these sensual experiences into the realm of infinite possibility, the realm of ultimate prime reality, and that is bypassing all the other stuff. And all the colorful attractions that appear in prayer and meditation, often all the distractions, and go deep into that space, which is also truth. It's one word describes it. It's truth. So that is what has come through over the last few days. And I wanted to share. I almost forgot about that in my last live stream, because I thought it was an interesting hint from the construct in our last live stream um before the break. I talked about how co-creation works and how it doesn't work. And I said, I can't just say, or I can't just say I want to see a pink elephant in the kitchen, and it's going to appear in my kitchen. So I think the next day, before it got really bad, uh, uh, you know, Christine and I said, I got to get out of the house. And Christine and I both had the intuition to go to a specific restaurant that we hadn't been to in a while. It's called Vui's Kitchen. And we sat down, we ordered, we sat down, and it was us and a mother with her little girl, and she was sitting there coloring. And Christine and her would just looking and winking back and forth, and you know how it is. And we were sitting there waiting, and eventually our food arrived, and the little girl got up, and which I hadn't seen before, when you walk into the restaurant, there's this long wall where they have the logo on there and it says Voice Kitchen. And I didn't see that there were all kinds of drawings of children up there. And so that little girl went to the wall and hung up what she drew, and she had drawn an elephant, and the elephant had huge pink ears. So I looked at that wall and it said Booey's Kitchen, and there was her elephant with the huge pink ears. And I said to Christine, well, I guess I was proven wrong. I said, you can't just think of a pink elephant and it'll appear in the kitchen. It appeared in Booey's Kitchen. Of course, different than I imagined it, which is so often the case. But it was a little hint. It was a little hint that reminded me just how powerful of co-creators we truly are. And how it's all a mix of our intentions, of listening to intuition, of connecting to the highest version of ourselves, and to acknowledging that we have this divine spark, right? We are this divine spark, truly. So that was an experience I wanted to share. We laughed, even though I was in a lot of pain. We laughed and just thought that was a beautiful experience. And it was such a sweet little girl too. And they were the only other two people in a restaurant, which, was sort of fitting for the whole experience. All right, my friends, I'm going to keep this a little shorter. Still recovering, but I wanted to thank you all for your beautiful, beautiful comments across the platforms, for your amazing support, for the heartfelt and authentic words of love and kindness and well wishes. It truly means the world to me. And there were some moments where, I just wanted to distract myself from the pain and the bullshit. And so I was looking at your comments, and they truly helped. They helped me heal. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you, and we will be back with you again very, very soon.
Right now, you could be only a few clicks away from experiencing something amazing, something that has changed thousands of lives all over the world. I'm talking about a high consciousness field similar to those at pilgrimage sites and sacred places. It's where people go to heal, to connect, and to become the best possible version of themselves. With FLFE, you can bring such a high consciousness field into your home right now. It's a spiritual quantum technology based on the work of Nikola Tesla. Better sleep, more energy, greater well-being, improved finances, electrosmog mitigation. These are only some of the things people on the FLFE service are experiencing. Try it now for 15 days completely free of charge, no credit card needed. Just click on a link down below to start your free, no strings attached FLFE trial right now.